Yeah, it's still frozen. So I'm gonna have to tip this thing upside down on the ground and get some, I'm gonna have to tip this upside down on the ground and get some penetrating oil on that to loosen that up. But then I can't wait to see what is not turning, what's holding the rear end from turning. So that to come. Oh, there's that PTO shaft thing. I've never taken one of these apart, except just to line these up and drop it back down. So I only had it up about, you know, so high. I've never taken one that far off. Okay, so I don't see metal laying anywhere. I do see water there. That's the reflection. That's water, I think. I could get rags to get that out of there probably. That I drained, so all the water I drained off that, but this seems like it's in its own compartment and the water didn't come out of there. Almost got it down to the ground. And I'm just doing a few notches at a time. Then I'm going to flip it over, get it some predatory oil on there. Oh, look at that pile of rust that just fell down out of there. Yuck. Yeah, so that's the reason it wouldn't shift. Rust in the, I'm going to play with those and probably take these bolts out and then go up to the shop and wire brush everything. Probably take the shift handle with me, and then if this thing sits just like this, then I can just crank it back up from this position. It's just, oh, it's leaning against the PTO. How perfect that's working. And then I'll just keep this tight. I suppose I could tighten the slack up here. There. Now for the look inside. Somebody has said to put all new bearings in here at one time. So if there was 1.5 gallons of water, that would have only come up to there. That wouldn't have got on any bearings. That would have just went way down in the sump. The moisture, that's water sitting right there. The moisture that gets up in here is just from when you see moisture on the outside, sitting in the shed not heated. There possibly is moisture on the inside the same. You know, because I could see the seal being broke and some getting in right here, and that's where some is. And this is where the shift handle sits over. So the shift handle certainly lets it in there. There's an 1/8 inch right around the whole shift handle. I think we can get in there. But back here, why would there be rust way up on this? So it's got to be from condensation on the inside, just like you see it sitting there. And that's what gives a little speckle here and there, which I don't think is going to hurt anything. This will all, well, if it's heavy, like right there, I don't know why that's heavier. And it has an actual line to it. These bulgars have not moved. They do not move. So now to see if it's stuck in 2 gears, how do you do that? I think it's just about neutral, maybe. No, this one's hitting this one. This one's hitting this one, so it would be in that gear, I think. So I think it is in gear. But anyway, I'm going to try to bump these back and forth with my big screwdriver and see if I can get it neutral. And the engine's locked up. There's no pistons in it. There's no pistons in it, but the front piston's left there because he couldn't get it unstuck. So that would still account for the engine being stuck because he left the stuck piston in the front. I meant, yeah, he left a rod on it too, so that's making that stuck. But if I get it neutral, even with the engine stuck, I don't know if that means I can turn it around or not. I'll be finding all these things off camera. So I just thought I'd bring you along while I take this off to see why it won't turn. And so far I will if I can find something in the next few minutes. See if I can push this one over. This is the one I thought was in gear. There, it goes right over. Now that would be out of gear. And this one's not hitting nothing. Let's see if it slides also. Nope. Wow. Why wouldn't that slide? Seems like there's probably some froze up things on here. But this one slides. Okay. How about this one? Okay, that one slides. Well, that one I'm sure is supposed to slide, so I'm going to fool around with spraying some oil on it and see if I can tap that to break that loose. I got an idea, like a slam hammer. I decided since this one's free and this one moves around, guess how a slam hammer works. So I started slamming that baby in there, and look at it, it moved. But I don't want it to get stuck up there, so I'm going to be careful with this. So I'm going to be going back and forth with this for a bit. Well, I guess that isn't solid grease. I guess I didn't get all the water out of there because that's where the plug is. So it stopped right there. It makes sense because there's a little gully in there. A little gully like that. So that's water. So I'll have to get that out with rags too. I was going to put my finger in it to put a little oil up here on the shaft that I just cleaned the rust off of, but nope, just going to have to use penetrating oil. So I'm probably not going to have any luck freeing this up. Just like that gear was froze on there, something else is probably froze somewhere. That's why the wheels won't turn. So I think it's to do with the shaft that crosses right here. I think something's locked up there with the gears that turn the brakes. Oh, the brake drum shaft. Yeah, that could be locked up. So now I'm getting somewhere anyway. And then I still got to work on getting all that rust out of there. All right, well, I found out pretty much all I wanted to know. If this tranny's usable or not, because then I can put my engine from my 45 H that I bought in 1988 on the front of this, on the front. And yeah, then it wouldn't be a 1942 anymore in the front, but, or I could take parts off that one and put it on this one to put the engine complete again. That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably just take the parts so I can keep the same block, so it'll be 42. But on the other hand, maybe who cares? Well, at least this gasket all the way around is good except for up there. That's an actual gasket. And since I used the porta power, I didn't stick a screwdriver in there. Oh well, that's about all this video is going to be. A couple 10-minute ones added together. Well, I thought I'd try something as long as I got these big things here stuck on there. I tried using these for a lever, and guess what? I got it to turn. Maybe not so much that way, but check this way. Did you see that? They turned. So now I can unhook this 2x4 off here. I got to get that all the way on the ground. Unhook this top thing, and I can start turning these wheels and getting some oil on this stuff. I've just unlocked it, and then basically, if I get that loosened up down there, it'll shift, and then it's just the engine. All right, so I did